He says he has to win this game. If he does, he will be in the final. And here we go.
Here we go. It's a queen's pawn opening. He pushes this pawn forward. Firouzja developing his knight. OK, the Trompovsky attack. This is quite a rare guest at this top level, at the elite level. White's knight developing now.
And we will see black push the queen's bishop pawn, move it, pick up the pawn on c7, move it to c... Nope. He, in fact, invites white to actually trade the bishop for the knight. Do you think it'll happen? No.
OK, I'm surprised. If you traded that knight, it would have fixed the pawn structure, drawn out the game into a long battle. But OK, the pawn's pushing forward now. Pieces just being developed. Artemiev maintaining that extra minute advantage. That's the key at this early stage for white, at least. And black is castled. White needs to do the same as quickly as possible. You don't want to have to worry about king safety later in the game, sorry.
OK,
the white queen
is coming out. And this looks a little bit shaky because usually the antidote to this is actually just to ignore the threat to the pawn and just develop the knight. And there it comes.
OK, so now white has moved a bishop. White is ready to castle the king away. And once that happens, it's not easy for Firouzja to get any action against that king. Not easy for him to end the game quickly, which he needs to do, ideally.
And Artemiev, quite ahead on the clock, over a minute.
Yep, over a minute up on the clock. Firouzja has attacked the white queen on the last turn. I expect that white knight on the side now to just capture a pawn. It was such a bad piece. He had to go for this. And he's done a good job so far, Firouzja. He's got a decent position out of the opening, rock solid for black. In terms of making a draw, I think he would do it in blitz chess. But look at the clock time. Still a minute and 20 seconds down now. And more trades have happened. OK, white castling away that king.
Firouzja just really needs to speed up because he has just 3 minutes on the clock.
Great position on the board, though. Look at the centre. It's about to disappear. But bishops have left, knights have left. Once black takes this pawn in the centre, it's going to be a symmetrical pawn structure.
Right, but that means yes, it's not an exciting position, but it does mean that Artemiev's king is safe.
Yeah, but Artemiev would love to get a safe king position, but with more tension left, more pieces on the board. Firouzja, he's heading well towards that draw already. Once the black rooks reach the centre of the board, black has no weaknesses, black has nothing to worry about on the board.
OK,
yeah,
the rooks have lined up, and now...
You mentioned Ivanka, the clock. I think that's the only way the game can be decided in Artemiev's favour. It's just so level.
OK.
And what can white even do? Black's rooks are ready now to challenge the centre. Black has a strong knight. Any time white moves his knight away, we'll just see rook trades. Any time white's queen challenges the black queen, we might just see trades as well.
And Artemiev actually thinking for the first time, I'm suspecting that the queen will just move away, probably 2 squares to the left. Nope.
So he kicks back the black knight, forcing it to a weaker square, but also loosening up the white king position. So pros and cons with that move, that decision. Artemiev trying to create a pin against the black knight and the black queen. So the black knight a bit stuck right now.
OK, and Firouzja going directly for the attack. Now the pawn on e3 is under threat, and, well, Artemiev kicking back the queen. OK,
yeah, I think Firouzja has underestimated this last move.
OK.
White's bishop now is ready to step where that pawn used to sit, and now black has to lose a lot of time with the queen. Firouzja trying to attack, but getting frustrated. And, OK, look at him on the camera as well. He's not happy. He just looked over to the clock. He's a minute down still. And still no closer to that draw yet. OK, and he retreats the queen. Okay, and white's knight stepping back, controlling some squares. That is sneaky. Also, the white rook is attacking black's knight, trying to kick that black knight away from the centre.
And now there's a question as to how you're going to defend the pawn. And Artemiev does it with his king. Unbelievable stuff, but it's good.
It's decent. He's controlling everything. He's controlling squares. And Firouzja is looking far more flustered than Artemiev. Artemiev, ice cold, not even moving, deadpan, not reacting. Firouzja already just not comfortable and not in the flow. Still more than a minute down on the clock this time. He's trying to get rid of white's knight, the best defender of the white king, but it still feels slow, and white's controlling all the dark squares.
Yeah.
That last pawn push.
And Firouzja coming up to 1 minute and a half. So he has to speed up, especially when you see Artemiev has just under 3 minutes on the clock. And this is why Firouzja has made a bid to complicate the position.
Yeah.
But it's just looking...
Just a pawn sacrifice.
Pawn sacrifice, pawn takes pawn. Played.
Yeah, and that's just...
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Firouzja is panicking that last move. it shows he's desperate to try and clarify the situation. He wasn't happy to manoeuvre anymore. It was costing him too much time. But now white is simply a pawn up. And white's queen can go and grab a pawn later. White's bishop can jump out, attack the black queen.
Can Artemiev be even more bold and attack the knight and the bishop? And yeah, he's played it.
OK, yeah, I missed this one. I think Firouzja missed this one as well. That's a double attack. White's pawn is about to win a piece. Firouzja, he's losing on the board and the clock. Oh. He's about to be a piece down and he's a minute and a half down.
Just tired after a long day.
Yeah.
The situation.
It's difficult.
Pressure.
I think Artemiev is just too experienced in this. He chose the right opening.
Yeah, look at him, he's ice cold.
Yeah, not reacting at all. He knows he's completely winning at this point. Black's bishop gives itself up. The white queen can just take that bishop.
And it does.
Yep. So now a whole bishop up for white.
And Firouzja, just 47 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah.
A piece down.
Oh, he knows it.
And,
hopeless, unfortunately. Extra piece, and it's a very strong piece as well. Look at white's bishop on a great diagonal. All white needs to do is prevent any traps against the white king, any threats there. And, OK, Artemiev, again, consummate professional, just keeping things simple, pushing pawns forward. If that pawn's captured, white will initiate a queen trade, and that will just make things easy. So Firouzja, again, taking more risks because he knows he's in big trouble.
This is a neat, very efficient try by Artemiev, who steps forward with his queen, and now the threat is actually to potentially give some checks, and also pawn takes pawn in the air. And
Firouzja, it's hopeless. He's trying something. He's trying to just confuse Artemiev by playing on the other flank of the...
And now Artemiev is weaving a mating net on the board. I mean, the situation is just hopeless. In fact, the computer's telling me mate in 8.
Yeah, that's if black defends to the maximum, but there's no chance. Firouzja resigns.
It's over for the 18-year-old, but Vladislav Artemiev, he is so fantastic in this format. In his third tournament in the Meltwater Champions Chess Tour, makes it to his second final. He will face Magnus Carlsen in the final of the...